Here we go. So, here I am with it's Paul from Paxton's with Sean Newman.
Hello there.
So we're in Raveloe. My
Very nice lunch.
Yeah. Good. I had the king prawn sea bass risotto with some San Pellegrinos, no beer, no alcohol involved.
Yes.
And some coffee. And Sean had
I can't remember what it was. It was pasta with chicken, roasted peppers.
Yep.
Parmesan cheese and some salsa something or other on it, but it was very, very nice.
It was good, yeah.
I can recommend this
enjoyed
place.
That. So great
Very
meal,
nice.
Really good service. Love Raveloe, as you know. I keep harping on about it. So if you've not been here,
Ravioli.
Come and have a look at the lovely village of Bradford and Avon, and come and see bringing over the guys that own Raveloe and now look after you here. So anyway, a bit like previous podcast interviews, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to ask Sean some. Sean and I have known each other, probably been working out in the car on the way about 6 years, we reckon.
Yeah, about 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
Sean was looking to sell his house in Hilton and buy a bigger house. Very affluent man, loads of money, good job, very successful career, lovely wife, nice
Thanks, Paul.
children.
Oh yes, all of
Yeah,
that.
he deserves all the big bucks.
Thanks, Paul.
Every penny.
So, he was paid for that, by the way.
So this is one way of getting him to pay for the meal when I've offered. So anyway, I was going to ask.
He's still paying.
Definitely. I was going to ask Sean a few questions, really, which I've prepped him up. Really, nothing. It's all very casual, much as before. Ready for Sean to tell us a little bit about himself, about Sarah's wife. About the children, if he wants to do that, about his career, where he's worked, what his past experience is, what he's doing now. I know what he's doing, so he'll be telling you, not me. And his experience of selling his property in Hilton and buying the one that he's got now, which has been in for a while, and the reasons for moving when that time's come. So we'll start with just asking Sean, tell us a little bit about
about myself. Okay, yes. Hello everyone again. It's I'm Sean Newman. I am 57 years old. I'm actually, I'm semi-retired, I suppose. I do a bit of freelance consultancy work. By trade, I was actually in the NHS, trained to be a psychiatric nurse, RMN, registered mental nurse, back in 1982, all those years ago. Worked in a variety of settings in psychiatry. Did my general nurse training, qualified as an RGN, registered general nurse, in 1991. Some point within those years, I met my wife Sarah. We've been married for nearly 27 years. We have 2 children. We've got Jack, who is 20, nearly 20, he's not quite 20. He's 20 on the 1st of September. Got that wrong, didn't I? And my daughter Abby will be 17 in November this year. So my son's going to Bath University, doing business this September. And my daughter will be taking her A-levels. She's just waiting for her GCSE results in this funny year with all the COVID restrictions, etc.
When she finishes then?
No, she's very artistic. She wants to do something to do with art, makeup, that type of thing. But she wants it to be business orientated. So she's a bit like me. She likes the business side of things. And I can always tell now, she's a bit like me. I've always been good with numbers, always been very kind of, the business side has always been one of my strengths, and I can see from what I see in Abby now that she's very creative, and I can already see a really good young business mind. So she, she'd be successful. So where am I now? After the Sarah works in the NHS. She's a nurse. She's retiring in about 4 or 5 weeks, which is good. We met in the NHS. I was in the NHS for 9 years. I moved into the pharmaceutical industry in 1991, of which I was in the industry for nigh on 30 years.
Long time.
Yeah, it was a great industry to work in. I did actually probably my last 20 odd years were in kind of national account business management roles, very commercial roles, strategic roles, which was great. I enjoyed it. I worked all over the country. I worked mainly for 2 pharmaceutical companies. Am I allowed to mention their names?
I would think so, yeah. We'll soon
Two
find
very-
out after, won't we, when I get
2,
sued.
yes, 2 very good companies. I mean, I worked.
At least you said they're good. If you said they were bad, probably
Yeah,
not.
2 very good companies. People will know them. I mean, the first one was a company called Wyeth, which is now Pfizer. They're owned by Pfizer. I was with them for nearly 8 years. And latterly for a company called Abbott Laboratories, which are big all over the world, lots of different parts of their business. I was in the I was in the pharmaceutical side for the first 6-7 years, and then in nutrition for the last 10. And I basically I was involved there with all sorts of commercial roles, projects. I managed a lot of commercial arrangements with dispensing doctor practices, had involvement with pharmacy, looking at various price arrangements and different things like that. So doing strategic stuff with them as well, and it was great, loved it. Before I retired, I always wanted to kind of go on my own. That was one reason for getting close to my retirement, which I always planned to be about 58. And I got to 50, 55, 56, and I'm thinking I really want to try something on my own, just to see whether or not I can do it, and also to experience it. I saw many opportunities in my time with working in pharma companies that I often thought, you know what, I could take that and make it work working for myself. But it was never the right time, because I enjoyed what I was doing, enjoyed the company I was working for, and never really made it, never really took that opportunity because I didn't need to. Until now, I really always wanted to do it.
I think the thing is, it's a bit like we were having a conversation in the car on the way over, and I was telling Sean about someone else who I'm interviewing, who's a young guy, Craig Stone, developer. I say I've known Craig and Kerry's wife for 6-7 years, I guess now, and I can remember when Craig came into the office one day and said, I'm thinking about doing X, what do you think? And my answer is, you're either a doer or a talker in this life. You either do it, or you just spend your life talking about it. The thing is, if you go it is, and you you do talk about it,
it's true.
You think it through, and if you think it's going to work, you go out and try it. And if it doesn't work, at least you can look back and say, well, I gave it a go, it didn't work.
Absolutely.
And really what you're thinking of doing, or do it now.
Do it now. Yes,
isn't it?
absolutely.
It's exactly that.
Yeah, it was, for me, it was the right time to do it, because I've got to that stage where I'm kind of ready to retire.
Yeah.
But I had this desire and need to give it a go, for a variety of different reasons. Having worked in big corporate companies for so many years, it's great to work for them, but I just wanted to try and stay in that and work for myself, and that's what I'm doing now.
I get it. And eventually, I suppose that's where I was when I started Paxton's, to be
Yes.
It was a really similar situation. So, there's goods and there's bad in all of it. You have to take the rough with the smooth, but you've got to dip your toe in the water. So now we're time. The clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking. So that's really enough
about
myself and the family. And then,
Indeed.
Paul, what was the next question?
So when I met Sean, he was living in still in Hilton, but
Still in
a
Hilton.
different part of Hilton. So that was where we first met. I think it was probably when you were looking to sell and move.
That's right. Yeah.
You hadn't found at that point, but you were looking to sell. So, what inspired you to sell the property that you had at that time?
Well, I mean,
you bought it brand new.
I
didn't you?
did. We bought it in 2000. We bought it from plots. We lived in Melksham prior to that. I mean, we bought in Melksham in 1990, and that was when we bought there because Sarah was from the Devizes area where I grew up, and I was training in the RUH, doing my generalist training in Royal Nightingale Hospital in Bath. So Melksham was kind of halfway, so we lived there for 10 years. And then was a time really, you know, it was family time really. We needed a bigger house. We had a 2-bedroom terrace, our first house in Melksham, and we were just looking for new properties. And we drove into Ilperton, and what did we see? Set back was what looked like some really, really nice properties. And so we went to have a look, loved it, and bought it, or bought one from Plot. And that was in 2000. That was 4-bedroom detached, and we stayed there for 16 years. Great. I mean, it was, loved the house. The only reason we moved was because Jack and Abby had come along, and the design of the house, the downstairs, very open plan, really good use of space. The upstairs, not quite so. I mean, it was big enough, but it didn't go over the garage. It was detached, but there was a lot of space you could use the garage, really, but that wasn't used. So really, Abby really needed a bigger bedroom. We had 2 big bedrooms, which was ours and Jack's. I had another medium-sized bedroom, which was my office, which Abby could have moved into, but really, we decided that we wanted to look for something else. Looked for ages, thought about extending over the garage.
Yeah, remember that conversation.
Looked at options, going into the loft, looked at the financials.
It's the cost, isn't it?
And in the end, we decided that if we could find somewhere, that we were going to move. And we didn't think we were going to do it. And then all of a sudden, a property that ticked all the boxes came up. Literally as the crow flies, 200 yards from where we live. Nice little place. And this was a 5-bed detached 3-storey type townhouse.
Nice location as well,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Really nice location. What inspired us to buy that? I mean, we walked in and we looked at these show homes, and I think they were built in 2010. I think it was 2010.
That would be about right.
And we looked at them and we thought, this is such a really nice designed house. The only thing really that it didn't have that we would look for was a big kitchen, but the people who lived in it previously had put an extension on the side of the kitchen, which meant that you had this great big extension with bifolding doors and decking, and now it's a massive kitchen, which is a massive selling point.
Big room, isn't it? Yeah, it's nice.
And you know, that was part of it. But again, it was the general feel of the house. We both really liked it. It was hard to move from where we were for 16 years because we really loved it there as well. It took a while to get used to it, but I think what we've noticed in the 5 years now that we've been there is that actually we've really grown to really like it and appreciate it.
It's a nice area as well.
So
why are you going to sell that when you sell?
I mean, the time for that
pressure.
will probably be, and obviously it'll be 3 Paxtons. Because you bought me
I'm
nuts.
sending everything, otherwise I want my money back. I'll haunt you.
Yeah, I mean, when the time will be, we don't know. I mean, the obvious time, I guess, is that when Jack and Abby are no longer there, and there's me and Sarah in a 5-bedroom house with 3 stories. Do we need to be in that? No, probably not. And when will that be? I don't know. You can hazard a guess of maybe 5-6 years, possibly. But we've no intention of moving before then because we really like it where we are. But then will be the time when we review it, and it'll be a case of what's the next move? Where is it?
Who knows?
Likely to be close by, I would imagine, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never
that's
know.
brilliant.
But,
That's interesting. That's really good. Just because clock's ticking. When you bought the new build, what was your experience of buying a brand new property?
I mean, it was very positive. The fact that you buy a property and no one's been in it and it's new, you chose it. You're choosing a lot of the decor in it. There's lots of things that you are choosing, and you move into it and it's all new, and that's great. I like new houses. I like modern new houses.
It's like a brand new colour, isn't it?
Yeah,
you get the smell that comes with the new car,
and that's the sort of thing that I like, and Sarah, my wife, likes that as well. So we're more modern new houses than older properties, And that without doubt was one of the big pluses, that you could choose lots of. But we'd go along and watch it being built as well, which was great to see. You know,
Yeah.
we'd walk around the site, it was a bit bigger, until you finally see it. And then you move into it,
Yeah.
and that whole process of choosing your things and for the first time going in and
Exciting.
seeing it's the house is very exciting. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it
great.
is.
The snacks, I suppose, the downside slightly is that you always get a little snack list this, that,
Yeah,
that
you
you're always
do.
going back and getting
Yeah, of
things
course.
done.
Depends what, the
But-
degree of the snagging, doesn't it?
It is, but I do like buying new houses, and my choice would always be, says somebody who's, I've only ever had 3 houses. The first one was from new, the second one was from new, and the one we're in now wasn't from new, but actually it ticked every box. I would imagine the next one probably would be, because that's just kind of
Yeah.
where we are. There's something about the new property
Yeah.
and everything that goes with that, what you choose
Yeah,
on the first
yeah.
in,
It's
it's not been
personalised,
lived in,
isn't it?
it's personalised.
Yeah.
You know, it's in good condition. Well, it should be. You never know. But that's why generally we tend to be kind of in that's what we like, rather than going in older properties and then starting to think
Yeah.
about the inevitable of what you're going to be doing to get
Yeah, I
it
agree.
maybe to what you want. But just a personal choice, and
It is.
that's where
I
we
think-
are with it. So
I think it's quite
yeah.
an interesting statistic, because Sean said he's lived in 3 houses, I've lived in 30. Apparently the average is 5 and I've had 30. Someone asked that question on Facebook and said how many houses you live in. The
Blimey,
average
Paul.
is 5.
Yeah.
I counted up 28, and then after I posted 28, I remembered 2 other ones I'd
Oh,
lived
those,
in.
God, dear, I just look and I think about, you've had 30 lots of charges, but no doubt you've managed to have lots of good rates because of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I work for a major developer, so the biggest house builder, so that was always an empty.
Yes.
Buy, and always got really good deals. Well, our time's up. Otherwise,
Yes.
we
Not
got
a
the rush because Sean is getting his barnet cut this afternoon.
Having your hair
by
cut now.
Lisa.
Lisa's cutting it
Two
for the
doors
first
away
time.
from the office, so he's going to drop me off. And he's going to run in and apologise for Lisa.
Because I might be a bit late, so I hope
Because
that she
you-
allows me to come
you
in
can
about
blame
5 minutes
Lisa.
late. I'm going to blame
Blame
Paul.
me.
Paul's fault.
Yeah, all right. So, anyway, appreciate that, Sean. Great
Yeah, no.
lunch. Enjoyed.
Pleasure,
being with
Paul.
you.
Pleasure,
Good
me
time.
too.
You guys are with the family. I've
Yeah.
seen them for a while.
I
But
certainly
say
will,
hello
Paul.
to them all for me, and
Thank you very much.
we will